So before we even put a straight edge on there, when you extract the fret, the wood on either side of the saw kerf puckers a little bit when you extract the fret. So the first thing you got to do is brush very lightly and get rid of any of that extraneous wood that's sort of puckered up on either side of the saw kerf. Very light touch here. Now that I've lightly brushed off all of the sort of puckered rosewood on either side of the kerf, I have a 1 thou feeler gauge, and we're just checking this neck for straightness. 100%. So we are going to be creating a compound radius, so the top end of the fingerboard is going to be slightly flatter than the bottom end. And let me show you how we do this. So this is a 12-inch diameter disc. This is the old disc you've seen in my videos for years. The new 9-inch disc that works in your drill press actually cuts a lot quicker than this. So it's a 12-inch disc, which means it's a 6-inch radius. So we're going to cut down to the line. You can see when I put that 14-inch radius gauge on the 9.5-inch board, well, it's rocking from side to side. Most of what we want to take off is in the center. And we accomplish that very quickly with the blocks that I send in your kits. Let's start that timer and see how long this takes. Concentrating at the top of the fingerboard, top end. The outside edges we don't even touch until we're done. And this is the beauty of having a narrower block. That leather flexes perfectly, you'll see in a second, to that radius. Let's check this. Stop and check. No, a little ways to go yet. So I'm concentrating first on the middle, and then working towards the outside edge and using the trajectory of the string path as my guide. Let's try that again. Still a little bit of rock in there. This longer block actually helps to blend 9.5 into that 14 at the top end. Check it again. So we'll speed up that center portion at the top end to get us down to our 14, and then we'll blend the full length. If you look at the swath, you can see how much contact surface we have. And this is the point I was trying to make before. If you have a hard steel beam with sandpaper adhered to it, your contact surface is about the width of a pencil line. That's how much surface we get with that flexible leather to give us a full inch of contact. Okay, so let's check that again at the top end. It's our 14-inch. Ooh, man, we're just about there. Just going to scrub that center down a little bit more. time I take to explain this and do the video, I would have been done by now, but I just need to make this point clearly so everybody understands. It's not 14 inches all the way along. It's a transition from 9.5 on this end, gradually to 14 inches on the top end. That's why I'm measuring at the top here for that. Good, just about there. I will check that compound radius across the fingerboard to make sure that we're keeping the fingerboard straight, which I know we are because these blocks are jointed dead straight. Huh. Yeah, no more rocking now. There's our 14 at the top end. I'm going to take that straight edge and just triple check, make sure we're good all the way across. Looking mighty fine. So I'm going to finish that up end to end. So I'm brushing very lightly now. And we'll be starting to put our frets in the next few minutes. There's our compound radius. So it's almost 6 minutes. Well, I actually do that normally if I wasn't filming. I do it in about 3.5 minutes. Okay, that was my rough cut. Now I'm bringing it in a little closer. And this is the Jescar 9055, 90 thou wide, 55 thou high. Kind of like a medium width, jumbo height, like the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat. Gabe's Strat is done. These are the new frets. I did breeze the file over it, but there wasn't one high spot on this whole fingerboard, so we got a perfect compound radius. The new frets are in. I'm just scraping these dots clean now with a razor blade. Just taking the scratch marks out. Of course, after compounding, kind of smudges those pretty white dots. I just scrape them clean. This razor blade has a bit of flex in it, so it kind of flexes to the radius. Kind of cleans it right up. You do the job right, you cover your tracks, it should look like the guitar was never even touched. We've got our compound radius and our 9055 frets, and this is the first step for the Strat style compensated nut. So here we go, step one. Cut it slightly over length. Step two, we're going to thin down that leg so it drops into that slot. Now, this being an American Strat complicates things a little bit because the actual slot itself has a curvature that you need to match. Over to our new sander. And right now we're at 139. So I want to get a good press fit. $123. 127. It'll lean on this side a little bit. Okay, let's go check that against the slot. 120, I've got it down to. Well, the next thing I'm cutting is the fingerboard radius. So I've got my little gauge here. So we're going to cut the ledge first. No, still got to go a little more. Oh, now we're getting there. Okay, just touch that one more time. Okay, we're there. Now I'm tracing the actual slot radius. Got my little gauge here. And we're going to cut that on the outside of the sander here. Take that down to the line. Before I bring you into the guitar and show you what we got, I'm just going to round off this crown. So this is where we are at this point. That's a good solid press fit. I'm happy with that. Yeah, she's still a tad high. You have to maintain that radius that we've got, but the leg's got to come down a little bit further. So back to the drill press disc center. Okay, here's a nice close look. This is what we've got now for our press fit. Perfect. We've got contact all the way across that leading edge. We've got contact all the way across the curved slot. And we've got a little bit of forgiveness as far as length on either side. Now we can mark the string spacing. So you can see, as I mentioned in those last couple of Gibson compensated nuts, it's a different animal with different challenges. With the Fender style nuts, I'm talking the real Fenders, American Fenders, you have all these radiuses to deal with. The radius shelf and the foot of the nut that goes into the slot, it's actually radiused as well. But the bonus on the Fenders is the strings come straight through the nut, so they don't splay like they do on the Gibson guitars. So that's your kind of saving grace on this nut versus the Gibson nut. So they, like I said, they each have their own challenges. We're ready to put strings on. Well, we are definitely on the home stretch with this. The complete refret is done. The compound radius is done, as you saw earlier in the video. The bridge saddles have been radiused to match this 14-inch radius, which is the closest radius to the bridge. And in the back, we've adjusted that K value of the springs so that it comes right back to center every time, and you're going to see that in a second. But what I really want to show you Patron, guys, is the bridge has been adjusted for intonation, 7th fret corresponding octave all the way across, all 6 strings. That's perfect. So now we're fretting that 12th fret note, and we're playing the open string and dialing back that ledge until those 2 notes, fretted 12th and open string, are in tune. I want to bring you in for a close-up on exactly how I hold the feeler gauge as I make this cut. So I'm pushing up against the nut. So with my index finger, I'm kind of holding it down to the fingerboard. My thumb comes over and holds the cutter in place. I'll show you that a couple more times as I make my way across. Here's a 6-string demo, 7th fret and octave, 12th fret fretted and open, and 1st fret fretted. 5th string, 7th fret, and octave. Now the 12th fret and the open string. See, we haven't adjusted that yet. We're about to adjust that. I'm going to bring you in for a close-up. So we're dialing back that nut shelf for the A string. Again, I use my middle finger, push this into the nut, my index finger to hold it down, and the thumb to stabilize the cutter as I make my cut. Okay, let's check that. A string fretted, 12th fret, open, and 1st fret note. D string, 7th fret, octave, 12th fret note, and open. So you can see it's about 4.5 cents sharp. Let's dial back that ledge. I either use my ring finger or my second finger to kind of push that up tight against the nut blank. Hold it down with my index finger and then balance the cutter between my right hand and my thumb as I make this cut. Now I don't have to dial this back very much. Here's our 12th fret, open, and fretted note, 1st fret. Okay, that's done. On to the 3rd string. So I want to give you a before shot before we adjust that 3rd string ledge and open. So again, it's about 5 cents sharp. Let's dial back that ledge. Same thing again, 2nd finger, hold it down with my index finger, balance the tool with my thumb and my right hand. 3rd string. Octave, 12th fret, open string, and fretted 1st fret note. So once again, before I calibrate the ledge, I'll just give you the 7th fret, octave, 12th, open. Okay, so that's about 5 cents sharp. So that's got to come back 5 cents. Again, middle finger, index finger kind of holds it down. I balance the tool with my thumb as I make the cut. Check that. 2nd string and octave, 12th fret, open, and 1st fret note. On to the 1st string. Okay, here's our 1st string, octave, 12th fret, and open. Okay, so that's obviously got to be dialed back. First string, and 1st fret. Whew, man, we are done. Now we just make it look pretty. So here's one quick last look before I smooth it out, glue it into place, and bring it into the studio and plug it in, let you really hear it. Well, as you know, I prefer to sort of jump all over the neck with different chords to sort of illustrate the accuracy of the intonation along the entire span of the neck. So that's what we're going to do now. So here we go. A add 9, F sharp minor over C sharp, and then C sharp minor over G sharp, to F sharp minor 9, B minor 11, E 7 flat 9. So here is the entire progression. So I kind of let that loop, and then Gabe's done quite a bit of work on this guitar. He's got sort of push-pull pots. I'm not too sure exactly what the configuration is here. Okay, so bridge position. Oh, I see. Okay. So one of the things that a lot of people are frustrated with the Strat is you can't get the 2 outside pickups. Now, what Gabe has done is he's wired this in, so in the bridge position with the push-pull pot down, it is just the bridge pickup, like it would be normally. But when the push-pull pot is up, you can get the 2 outside pickups. Now, for the rest of the positions, okay, we're getting all 3 there. Push that down. Okay, so I guess there's like an on-off switch for this pickup. So this is the way he's wired this. We got bridge pickup only. Release that push-pull, and we got the bridge and neck. Next position, we've got, we'll push that down. And that's normal, just these 2. And we release that, we get all 3. Oh, okay, so that's pretty clever. Okay, so let's have a listen. So we'll let that play. And I'll kind of flick through these pickup positions so you can hear for yourself.